Greetings, salutations, meowdy, and everything in betwixt and betweeneth. It is once again that time of the month. It is I, Sergi Dasu, and I'm here bringing you a monthly kind of recap yap sesh, where I go over things that happened this month for me. This was a very big month, so it's not going to be like over an hour and a half, I promise. It's probably going to be barely an hour. That depends on how much of this I want to fit in. But, yeah, I'm just going to hop right into it. No fluff and stuff, no B-roll. This month of May that we are closing out, getting ready to go into the gay month. We're going into June as of tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. It's crazy to think that we're like halfway through this year now, right? But for the month of May, for me myself, it was the practice of a new chapter. I talked about it quite frequently, quite frivolously back in April, and it all came to fruition, and I gave everybody a nice little kind of not podcasts, but just like a vlog, if you will. And then I went ahead and I did a live stream of the happenings. For those that are just void of keeping up with the content that I put out, this past month, at the end of April, I moved into a new apartment with a roommate. So this whole month has been adjusting to that experience and just really drinking it in. And all I can say is I'm really grateful for this. It's been a long time coming. I feel like aside from constantly saying how I'm going to get a new PC, I'd say that this is probably one of those things that's up there in the list of things that I was just busting my ass, scratching and clawing to get. And it finally happened. I love the place. It's super cozy. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So I have my own bathroom. I don't think I've ever been able to experience something like that. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but having been in a lot of co-living situations, and also having been placed in shelters before, there's something very, very, very just cathartic of walking into your own personal bathroom, not one that's shared by other people or what have you, or a public bathroom space. It's your own. You have your own toiletries. You can decorate it your own way. You don't have to worry about somebody not flushing behind themselves or what have you. It's all you. Now, of course, if I have people that come over, yeah, I will have them use my bathroom, but it also presents the thing of like, hey, there's going to be some etiquette that I can enforce because it is mine. And I like that. I like having that ability to be like, well, hey, this is my space, okay? Like, I know you're visiting, I know you're a homie, but at the same time, you ain't finna just do whatever you want. Be mindful, have some decorum, and be respectful, okay? One of the things that I find myself working on daily is not really just adjusting, but as far as to being a person that is on the lease, a main lease tenant. But I guess just figuring out if I'm yearning for more now that I've reached this milestone, or if I'm going to maintain a level of content. And I think I should maintain that level of content, because I don't want to keep chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing and just being upset because, oh, I didn't achieve this, I didn't get this, what the hell am I doing? Like, I need to see how everybody else is getting it, and I need to get it like that. No. I've been guilty of that. Even up until this point, I feel like I've been guilty of that in certain cases, and it makes me a little sad, but I also understand that is because I've been struggling for so long that I'm literally just kind of throwing anything to the wall, praying that it'll stick and that it will start generating forward motion. Main thing is with like my current job and everything. I'm still with them. I've been gracious to be employed, and I mean, I know in the past I've been the type of person where it's like I'll stay with a company, I'll be with that company for Lord knows how long, and then once something pops up that doesn't really suit my fancy, I'm pretty much just I don't even put in 2 weeks. I'm just dipping, and I'll just sit there for a month. In some cases, it's been a very long stretch, and that was extremely rough. But I mean, that's just how I was, and even now, I'd say I'm still kind of like that. But I've come to realize, hey, at least for right now, I should just stay with the stability, which is one of the things that I mentioned about this current chapter for me is the stability. It is stability for myself. The job is chill. I don't hate the job at all. It's very laid back as far as like the things that I have to do and just the sort of daily motions. It literally is just the people that I work with. The people that I work with, I could do without. And it's not everybody. It's a few people that are just constantly making it a headache. And I feel like if they were gone, I would just be chilling. I'd probably stay with the company for a lot longer. It would be one of those places where I could see myself staying there for over a year. That's all it is just get rid of the person or the people in question, and maybe find some sort of better system of doing things. I mean, that's going to be a lot of places, especially when you're working with the public, is struggling with upper management and corporate. But I've been able to just kind of mitigate that and just find a nice groove where I'm just doing my thing, but it's not in the mindset of I'm just here for that paycheck, which, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, that's what I am there for. That way I can continue to supplant what I'm doing in life, maintain the place that I live in, as well as being able to strive for other things like a computer or a car, or even setting aside money little by little so I can start doing certain fun things, which I will get into in a little while. But that is I'm very happy. There's still a lot of things that I'm trying to kind of put together in my brain and make more sense of, but ultimately I am pretty happy. I'm very laid back. I'm a lot more relaxed, I would say, and it's gonna take a while to really unpack and unravel a lot of the baggage from the last few years of just kind of being in this perpetual cycle of just, I get a little bit of momentum and I fall hard, and then I just kind of crawl through the trenches, just try and get through the dirt and the muck and find something that kind of gets me forward progress, and then watch, rinse, repeat, right? This is kind of the bigger leap forward that I had been hoping to get to, but it took a little bit longer than expected. a lot of what put me in that pit is very much self-induced, and I'm coming to understand that a lot better as time goes on. And now it's just a matter of how do I prevent myself from showing back up and putting me back in that type of space. Also, I know one of the things that I would like to start building towards little by little is the opportunity to finally have a therapist, a full-on therapist, somebody that I can go to on a regular basis, a weekly basis, or if I need more, then more than that. Because I have this mental sheet, but I'm gonna go ahead and I actually need to put that into a note, so that it's like, hey, it's there, it's physical, it's tangible. Like, this is what I need to start going towards, because it's like I have like a little note that just shows some of the things that I want to start working towards. A lot of it is more so just tertiary, it's just the simple pleasures, the wants, and all that stuff. But as far as the needs, as far as like legal documentation, that's one of the things that I definitely have to start working on. I know I have to get my license. Eventually I do need to get a passport. I know where I can get passport photos for relatively cheapy person. It's just a matter of getting all the other fine documentation and whatnot in due time. As far as the real ID, I did not get that yet. I will eventually get that, since they're being so demanding of this, it seems like, or probably not the best word, demanding, but it seems like they're making it more of a strong case that if you don't have this, we're going to delay your travel in a very unfortunate and annoying manner. And then, of course, they keep saying that there is the potential that you will get turned away because you don't have a real ID. That's pretty ass. I still don't really vibe with the whole concept of, oh yeah, we need a real ID to prevent the terrorists. Like, baby, there's no, that's just what you want us to believe, is that, yeah, this is to mitigate the potential for terrorist attacks because of fake IDs. Baby, fake IDs have been existing for eons. Like, do you not understand that is just an unwritten part of our society? Like, underage kids exist that want to indulge in things that they shouldn't, and yeah, I digress. That whole process goes into a number of things. Still working on getting all my stuff for the name change and whatnot. That had to get put to the side just because of the situation I was in, and of course working towards this. But now that this has been checked off, this is a big check off the list, I can start putting a lot more stock into things like that. And of course, many other things on my list of personal needs or task. What was the other thing I wanted to bring up as far as, like, I guess I can get into as far as, like, without just fully explaining where I live in, like, graphic detail and in a means to not dox myself. I'm in a really cozy spot where I do have a lot of things within, like, fingertips reach, and that's nice. I'm always a little skeptical about living in places like that where, I mean, thankfully it's not like a downtown area or anything crazy like that. I could not fathom living in a downtown space, especially as somebody that comes from a small town that's also very high-strung when it comes to being in large populous areas. But I will say that our we have a nice little community, have a nice cozy little community. I like that I'm not too far from a number of things. Like, I can get to the library. It won't take me half an hour or an hour to get to a library is close. So I can get to a library. Of course, like grocery and stuff is within reasonable travel distance as well. And I'm able to catch the bus to work, and I only have to take one bus. I don't have to do transfers here and there and do like a crazy, I gotta walk like a mile to get to this one spot so I can catch the next bus so I don't have to be late for work. No, I just hop on one bus, it gets me to work, and I hop on the same bus and it gets me back home. I don't have to do anything crazy. I love that. I love that so much. It was like that for me at the old place that I was staying when I was staying with my sibby, but the issue was because of my scheduling, I could not catch the bus to work. I could only catch the bus home. So that meant that it was usually put money into an Uber or Lyft and pray that somebody is driving at that time of the morning, because I had to be to work by 5 a.m. So, yeah. Or pray that they have one of those little bikes or whatever, the little Lime bikes or whatever bike. And worst case scenario is I would probably have to walk there. Granted, it was only like a 2 to 3 mile walk, but still, first thing in the morning, it was rough. I went through it, but now I don't have to go through that anymore. I'm extremely grateful for that. Oh my goodness, yeah, Sergi been having to do a lot of shit, man. Sergi been having to do way too much shit. Eventually I will work on trying to get like a little car, nothing fancy, nothing brand new. I'm not trying to get on a damn, I'm really not trying to get on a car note. That's the last thing I need is a car note. Yeah, maybe in like a year's time I could consider a car note if that is so pressing, but I'd rather just see what's in the community that I could just buy for, I'd say, under $2,000. If I can find something, you know what, no, I'll say $2,500. $2,500 feels like a comparable, reasonable price to find a relatively good used vehicle that isn't going to cost me more than it did to buy the vehicle, to repair, to be a reasonably functioning vehicle. Because I've definitely been there. Back when I lived in Utah, that was the case that I went through, unfortunately, is that I bought like well, of course, back when I was in Utah, this was pre-pandemic, like by 2 years or so. So it feels, I think, I would say that the market was a lot better back then, for sure. Because I found an 05 Taurus for $500 from somebody there, and I mean, hey, it got me to work, but eventually the cracks really started to show, and it just ended up I had to get rid of the car because it just became a hassle to maintain. But then again, that was my very first vehicle that I had ever on my own purchased and owned, title and everything. It was a nice little vehicle. I remember when I was in Utah, I was fresh out of school, and I had been staying with somebody, and then hell, I guess I can get into this story. Like, it was somebody that was like an RA at the school that I was at. And they're like, yeah, you could stay with me and everything. I got like a spare room and everything, blah blah blah. And I mean, she was pretty chill, but then eventually, I feel like she just kind of lost her interest. No. I think she just kind of lost her generosity, rather. It was like this white lady, but it got to the point where she was like, okay, I think you need to leave and all that stuff. And it even got to the point where she felt like I was potentially stealing her stuff. It was a white woman, so I mean, yeah. What can you do? What can you do? And I was just like, look, I'm not having this shit. I will gladly leave. I don't really have time to deal with the allegations that you're putting on me. Thankfully, by then I already had the car, so that's all it is. I just threw my shit in the car and I dipsetted. I spent like a night sleeping in my car at a Walmart parking lot. It was something. I made the best of it, though. I'm not terribly upset at that, but I feel like that could be something that I could bring up in a therapy session, as far as just kind of contributing to my whole, I guess, experience or feelings that I have towards white people as a whole. So, yeah. Yeah, there's that. Just kind of getting off track as a tangent, if you will. But yeah, if I could just find like a decent little, I say a decent little point A to point B car, but realistically, I do want a car that I can take on the road, because I do have friends that live in a couple of farther out cities that would be like an hour to 2 hours to travel. So, I mean, I want to have a car that I can take out of city, heck, maybe even out of state, go to some of the neighboring states and visit some fellow queers and all that stuff, and link up with people that I've only really interacted with on the internets. Or maybe I've met in previous cities and states that I've lived in, and I want to link back up with them. Do I want to try and do like I did before, where I drove from Nashville all the way to Philadelphia? Not all the time, because that's exhausting. I think that's kind of why I haven't explored the world of being a truck driver yet, because I think some people get the misconception that that is just easy money. That's all you're doing is sitting around, driving on the road. It's not that exhausting. Honey, anything can be exhausting if you do it for an extended period of time with little to no break in between, like working at a desk job or merely cleaning floors. Heck, even just talking on a microphone can be extremely exhausting. You exert a lot of energy in everything that you do. It's just that I think a lot of people, they have this very marred idea of what is considered hard work and what is warranting of being tired and exhausted and taking breaks and having days off. Everything requires a resting period after like, as far as like anything that you're exerting a lot of energy on, or just energy in general, there comes a time where you have to take a break. You do. It doesn't matter. Heck, I mean, if you're cooking, you have to take breaks. If you're cleaning, you have to take breaks. It doesn't matter. You take breaks. If you're doing it for an extended period of time, if you're doing it for a lengthy amount of time, you've got to take a break. So yeah, I would love to explore that option of getting a vehicle that can handle making trips out of state, not every week obviously, but maybe once or twice a month, just being like, hey, yeah, for the weekend, as long as I have that off, I'll just go and like cut out for the weekend, go visit somebody out of state, kick it with them for the weekend, come back, and just, yeah. That's something that I could definitely explore in the future. I would like to do. And with that, I might as well segue into like the fun stuff that I'm wanting to work towards with, as long as I'm employed. I mean, who knows? It might be out of my control. They might just be like, yeah, Sergi, yeah, you've been cool and everything, but we gotta start cutting people, so we're gonna let you go, and here's your severance package, if I could even get that. I don't know if they do that at my job, but who knows. So, one of the big things that I would love to work towards going forward into the later portion of 2025 and into 2026 is every few months or so, maybe a little bit more frequent, but that depends on the financial status that I reach. Is that I want to dedicate a small sum of money to going and visiting friends out of state. And I'm not just talking about like, oh, I just go one state over. I'm talking about, oh yeah, they might live a couple 100 miles or a couple 1,000 miles away. They might be on the West Coast, or they might be in the northeast portion, the New England area, or they might be all the way down in Florida or something. And it's going to be further. It's going to be a little bit further travel than I'm comfortable with in terms of driving. So yeah, just having a little bit of money set aside, seeing about if I can't stay with that person directly, just having either an apartment or an Airbnb set up that I can just kick it with them at, and it would be fun. It would be fun. It's a novel idea. I feel like I meet a lot of people that they're always talking about, oh yeah, we're just coming into town, we got a little Airbnb, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, woody woo woo, all that stuff. And it's always been like, yeah, that sounds nice. I wish I could fathom doing that. But it's not to say that I'm making money hand over fist, but it's definitely a decent little cut where I can take care of my bills. But then I can also have a little bit of money set aside to do some things. And as I slowly but surely build up my savings, I can look into certain things like that, certain opportunities like that. And that's exactly what I want to do. So as time goes on and I get to getting these things like my real ID and my passport and all this other extra-ish, that is something that I want to start looking at building towards in total. And it would be fun. I'd love to meet some of you guys that are listening, or even if you're not listening, there are some people that I've met on the nets that I have not interacted with in person. And I would definitely love to do that, just because it's like, okay, well, I get the internet persona and all that stuff, or what you're just willing to disclose via Discord or whatever. Now, what if we were face to face, just locked eyes and all that stuff? What are the vibes? What are we gonna get into? That's what I want to do. I want to experience that. So hopefully I can find some people that ain't too scary and they are willing to indulge in this potential experience. I mean, especially because some of the people that I've met, I've met them through dating apps and stuff, and it's not really to threat the potential of a date, but it is more so the potential to build a relationship of sorts. It can be platonic, or maybe if there's the openness to do romantic, then cool. Because for me personally, I haven't really been in a romantic relationship in quite some time, so it's yeah. I've kind of gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I don't know if the romantic stuff is gonna fly anymore, and it's not to say that it sucks, but it is to say that maybe that's just not something that I'm going to experience. And it's like people are, oh no, you're gonna find your person. It's like, baby, that's fine that you think that is a realistic thing, but honestly, I feel like I have way too much of personal gripes and issues that I've yet to really work through. And this isn't me trying to self-sabotage and try and put myself into I'm just not good enough for anybody, blah blah blah. It's like, no, I think I'm too much of a dickhead at times, where I'm going to reach a point where I get nitpicky about things, and it's going to ruin the vibes, because it's happened before. And I know that I am a big proponent for screwing up and just kind of being like, well, I don't know what the fuck happened there, but oh well. And I frustrate myself at times with that, and I don't know how to go about remedying that just yet. So yeah, I think that's what kind of plays into the whole, oh well, yeah, this is why Sergi is not with anybody at all right now. That, and just realizing that I don't have the spoons to constantly try to engage with people that are just not showing any sort of initiative. I'll probably do like a full-fledged either vlog or even like audio cast talking about like my experience with dating and all that stuff, so I'm not gonna try and get into it too much here. But yeah, that's one of the things that I would love to do, is just try and find people that I can link up with IRL and just have a good old time, because I want to start having more IRL friends. I think I've done enough of my usual isolation, which I mean, I love my isolation. I don't have FOMO. I have JOMO. I have the joy of missing out. I don't give a damn if I miss out on something major. But I do love having a nice little kickback sesh with like one or two people. I'm not like a big group type of person per se, because then eventually I start getting a little high strung and I get overstimmed, especially when it's a lot of people. That's why I just don't like going to a lot of big time things like that, which is so funny to say, because then it's like I go to wrestling shows and I will experience that and be totally fine, because yeah, right. I don't know, bro. It's weird like that. I'd be a weird mofo like that, where it's like, oh yeah, this is totally fine, brother. I like this. Yeah. And it's like, but Sergi, you don't like going to concerts or going to like clubs and stuff. I was like, yeah, because I can disassociate by watching wrestling and I'll be okay. And it's like, of course I can have like my earbuds and stuff, but then it's like concerts, while I don't hate music, I'm not big into it like that. I just listen to stuff and it's like, oh yeah, this sounds good. Yeah, I fuck with this. I bang with this. And that's it. I mean, I've never been the type of person where it's like I fall in love with artists and all that stuff, and I have like my favorite albums and this, that, and the third. I'm just not that type of person. I've never been that type of person. It's like, okay, I'll just scour the internet and I'll be like, oh yeah, this sounds pretty cool. I'll go ahead and I'll save this. This is nice. I like this. And then that's it. I don't go any further like, oh yeah, let me try and like go to this whole discography from this one artist and all this stuff, and like, oh yeah, like dissecting, oh man, like they were really turning up in their second like EP and all that stuff, and like, oh yeah, this story that they were telling in this one, oh man, I really, no, I'm not that type of person when it comes to music. It's great though. It's great because it is an art form and I can respect that. I just understand that I am uncultured in that aspect, in that regard, that it's kind of beyond my brain power. But hey, I commend everybody that's like, oh, they fall in love with different music and all that stuff, and they're hyped for concerts, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna save up all my money to go to this concert, because that's like me when a big wrestling show is coming up and it's close enough for me to go ahead and say, yeah, I could go ahead and save money up, I'm gonna go ahead and see this live, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, woo woo woo. I would like to also get back into going to anime conventions again. That's one of the things that I have to do. I would love to get back into cosplaying though. That's the main thing. I want to cosplay. I don't want to just go there just to be a background character. I wanna participate. I want to be in the thick of things, having fun. Not because I want to go ahead and try and like steal the show. Like I've already had my little fun with that back in the day, just being Deadpool before Deadpool started taking off, and everybody and their mom was like, "Yeah, Deadpool." Yeah, I had my fun with that. It was good. I still have some photos of that experience. So, I just want to get back into going to anime conventions, be able to maybe have some people that I can link up with and do that on a regular. Because, I mean, hey, it was through anime conventions that I made a lot of cool people and met a lot of cool friends. But, of course, it also led to meeting a couple of people that eventually just kind of fell off. It's one of those... best of both worlds. Well, not best of both worlds. It's one of those double-edged sword sort of situations. Which also leads into my next segue, since we're continuing with this list of things that Sergi wants to obtain now that they're kind of finding stability financially and all that stuff. I want to get some swords. I want to. I know there's Mini Katana, but there's some other places I think that do really cool replica swords. I'm not big into a lot of anime swords like that. Aside from like Zoro's Battle Enma and Law's sword. I think this is just because I'm not super connected with a lot of anime, but at the same time it's like, yeah, I mean, those are the only two swords I really bang with. They have a really nice style, and they're just cool. And I mean, like, hey, yeah, One Piece. So, other than that, I just like really well-designed replica swords. And it seems like Mini Katana does a pretty good job, but then again, I guess like Mini Katana is just kind of like the, the main market for katanas and stuff in some swords. I mean, I know there's other sword sites, but I think they deal more with just kind of traditional style swords. Maybe that's what it is that I'm kind of going the Mini Katana, because they're a little bit more stylized. So I think that'll be what I go for. And also, of course, mentioning going for a PC, I'm still kind of teetering between the idea of going for build my own or just pre-built. I don't think it's going to come down to like one specific thing that makes me go for one or the other, because I mean, it's been a while since I've built a PC, obviously, but it's not to say that I'm scared of building a PC again. I think I'm just trying to go for a specific theme. Not like, oh, color theme, but like as far as components and everything and what I want it to turn out to be. I know I want to... I mean... I get that a lot more games seem to be optimized for the NVIDIA cards, but I really want to go for AMD. I really want to go for Red Brand, like not just the CPU, but also the GPUs. So, I don't know. I'll have to do some more research and just see if I can find like a nice comparable. I didn't mean to kick that. If you heard that, I kicked a little thingy thing. Oof. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I'm not sure. To kind of pull the curtain back, I want to try and have the PC by July, August at the latest. At the moment, I have a, and I don't know if you saw the video or not, I have a Android handheld, a Retroid Pocket Flip 2. Really, really enjoying that. I'm still in the process of getting a lot of emulators and stuff together for that bad boy, so... But of course I can play Android games. I guess I could use this spot as an opportunity to kind of give my review on how I feel about it right now. Because I've had some time with it. I've had about 2 weeks with it now, give or take, almost. It's fun. I love it. It feels good. It feels good when I'm sitting down or I'm just kind of just relaxing, chilling. Very much a good old DS style clamshell handheld. Feels great. The hinge is solid. It snaps into place, no problem. In terms of if I were to use it in bed or whatever, when I'm just laying down in the bed or on my couch, it can be a little wonky because I mean it's pretty hefty. It's pretty hefty. It's a chonker. It's a little chonker. Not like a Steam Deck or whatever, but it's definitely a little chonker. It's not as sleek in the hands in that position as, say, maybe a Retroid Pocket 5, but it's definitely cozy. I like it. In terms of like the software has been pretty sound. It's just going through the motions of getting emulators, getting my BIOS and all that stuff, getting all the necessary files before I can just say, hey, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these ROMs and start just going ham. Like, so far, I've gotten my Dreamcast one up and running. I've been playing a couple of games up there. I've got my Garou up. I got Garou, I got Illbleed, I've got Zombie Revenge, which is one of my favorite games on that bad boy. I feel like it's an underrated gem. I could talk about that at another time, but yeah, if you look up Zombie Revenge and you'll understand. I bang with it. It's a fun little game. Have some good memories of that as a kid. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Ah, my face. I also have Blue Stinger. At Blue Stinger, I have King of Fighters. I think I have Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's either 2 Turbo or Super Street Fighter. One of those two. But yeah, just 3 fighting games and 3 kind of horror-style games. Those were kind of the games that I was going for as a kiddo. I mean, I know that there's a lot of sporty games on that people really enjoyed. I know 2 of the other games I'm going to get for that is Jet Grind Radio and Space Channel 5. I need both of those games expeditiously. I might get Ready to Rumble because that was a game that I played a lot as a kid with friends and it was just goofy. But the next one I'm going to try and work on is PSX and maybe Genesis, or I might just go for, it's PSX and the SNES. Those are the 2 that I'm going to be building my library for once I get all the BIOS and stuff and the emulators set up on my Flip 2. Outside of that, I think one of my biggest gripes has to be not with the handheld itself or the software itself, but with the Android library. Because I mean, I can go to the Play Store, I can download games, I can get a lot of those high-end, ultra graphic-y style games with no problem. The issue is that some of them don't seem to run with the controllers on that. Yeah, they don't really work well with like the face buttons and these D-pad and the analog sticks. So, like the craziest one is, I'm just a potato, but I briefly tried it just to see if it would do anything, because there were some games that I just wanted to go ahead and test them out with. The Call of Duty mobile game, I gave that a run. I don't have it anymore. I was just like, okay, let's see how this works with these joysticks, and it was just like, nah. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? But why though? There was another one I forgot. But it doesn't, yeah, it seems like a lot of them, as far as using that in particular, they just don't work. But if I were to maybe connect a controller via the C port, maybe it'll work, which is kind of weird because it's like, why am I connecting a controller to this handheld which has face buttons just to get it to run on a on a single game. I don't know, so I'll probably have to go and look up games that are they have gamepad support or controller support, and hope and pray that it's going to show me a lot of cool games. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it's going to show me a lot of cool premium games that are like, yeah, we have controller support. I know Dead Cells for sure. That's one of the games. Just got to see what else they have. I'm not playing the Diablo Immortal. I have no interest in that. I think that was one of the games that kept popping up. Like, hey, you want to try Diablo? I was like, no, I don't. And I will not. I will not indulge. But yeah, other than that, game console good. I haven't started flirting with the idea of running maybe Switch games, because it has been said that it has the potential to run a couple of Switch games with no problem. And also maybe like the 360 and PS3. I might get into trying those two. I'll have to refer back to the list, and I'll also have to refer back to my friendo, who is also a retro handheld head, and I'll ask them. They might know if this has the potential, because they're also getting a Flip 2, and I'm excited. I can't wait to be Flip 2 buddies with them. And just yapping about all the cool little things that we're doing with the handheld. This is basically just a PSA to get yourself a retro handheld and stop the cap. It'll do just fine. I know that you want your Switches and your Switches 2s and all that shit, but just get you a Retroid handheld. It's gonna do a lot of cool things. Also, get like a Steam Deck. Get like a PC handheld. You want to know why? Because now the PC handhelds can run SteamOS, and that's the better one. Don't get the ones that, you can get the ones that run Windows, but you're going to want to have access to SteamOS, because that's going to save you a lot of headache. And then you can put emulators up there, and then you can most likely run those Switch games on that handheld. You can't really do that with a Switch. So I'm just saying, I know that you want to play your Mario Kart Worlds and your Donkey Kings and all this other shit, but it's like, bruh, just to save yourself a headache, try some PC handhelds. It's not gonna kill you. It's not as frustrating or as overbearing as you think it is. There's plenty of guys out there nowadays that can help you out with it. You just don't want to do the work. I'm just saying, you can say, oh, it's expensive. So, yeah, and the Switch 2 is expensive, and all the games are going to be expensive, and all this other shit's going to be expensive. So, what's the prob, dog? That's all it is. I understand if you are in love with Nintendo and you support Nintendo until the ends of time. That's cool. I get it. But don't sit here and act like these alternatives aren't worth your time. They are. They are definitely worth your time. They are definitely worth your time. They are not as untrustworthy as you may believe them to be. They are a novel experience to behold if you are willing to just put in the time and the work for it. I'll promise you, it'll be a fun time. So yeah, I would say that you would go ahead and go forward with this. And that's the end of my PSA. Yes. I couldn't help myself. I've been having so much fun with that. It makes me so happy that I've gone about doing all that, and I would not trade it for the world. So I think this is where I'm going to go forward with, because I'm not getting a Switch 2. I was thinking about it. I was flirting with it. I was like, well, why though? Because I had a Switch and I gave it away, so I'm not really gonna go back when I have what I have, and I'm going towards what I'm going towards. Shit. Man, it's just it feels a little redundant. That's just me. It feels a little redundant. Plus I want to have that open-endedness that I'm getting, and it's like I'm not gonna get that with the Switch or the Switch 2. Like, yeah, I could go through the process of trying to jailbreak it and all that stuff, but bro, I'd rather just give me a couple of emulators, put them on a Linux-based or Android-based handheld. So there's that. Where are we at? About 50 minutes on this pupper? Yeah, about 50 minutes with this pupper. Okay, what was the other thing I wanted to bring up? Because I know I kind of just got off on a tangent. I know there was one thing that I also wanted to bring up on top of this. Mercy. I guess just kind of yap about the potential for streaming. I know that I was talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to come back to streaming in October. That's more so for video games, because, I mean, if you've been paying attention, I have been doing some like IRL streaming, which it's been fun doing that. I'm gonna stick with the idea of my IRL stuff is gonna be on one channel, and then my video game stuff is gonna be on my quote unquote main channel, which is just, yeah. I might change the name to that, because right now is Sergi Desu Games, and I was like, it's kind of meh. So I'll probably go through a name change. Just like IRL, I'm gonna change my name of my YouTube. Who would have guessed? And that also is gonna apply to what else? Maybe to my Twitch. I don't know. I mean, I've been kind of cool with the whole. I mean, Sergi Desu, I've had that for years now, so I don't really know why I would go about changing it. Maybe just to kind of be in lieu with everything and the I guess branding, but yeah. Also, as far as the stuff that I'm gonna be doing with Substack, I think I'm going to slowly but surely wean myself away from Substack, especially because of some of the drama that is taking place with that, and I really don't want to associate myself with that. So, yeah, I think it's about time that I close the book on that, which is very sad considering that it's like I'm coming up on a year of being with Substack, and it's like I don't really care about reaching that 1 year anniversary with them. So I'm gonna be looking around to find some other places that I can start blogging. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I just don't want to have to deal with that bullshit. So, yeah, that's the skinny on that. I'll be looking to close that down soon, and I'll be looking to build a new place to call home for blogging. I'll do my homework to make sure that where I'm at is not going to be pirated by somebody that is very much in cahoots with the dipshit in charge here in America. If we could even say that he's in charge, he's just there to be a menace to society and to humankind. But yeah, that's that. Substack was pretty cool, but I don't want to deal with that sort of shit. So actually, after this, I'm gonna just start kind of dismantling my stuff on the Substack and just go ahead and delete my account in total. I mean, there's no point in me keeping that shit there. I don't want that to be a part of what they got going on there. Yeah. Bummer. But that is just what we're dealing with on a daily basis. Just more and more places wanting to align with the most wrong of wrongs. What can you do other than deprive them of any sort of support and access? I just wish more people would do that with fucking... I wish people would do that more with fucking the Harry Potter. Just the Harry Potter everything. that's another case of like people are just like, oh, I just really love Harry Potter. That was all part of my childhood. Okay, and you can let go of things that were a part of your childhood, and it's not going to kill you or make you less of who you are. Like, I promise you, just because you are in love with everything that was produced in this universe does not mean you need to continue to support that absolute shit stain of a person that is just going to continue to make money and continue to find ways to dismantle and destroy everything about trans people. That's all I'm saying. It's not going to kill you to find another up and coming like series that kind of correlates with what Harry Potter does. What is it with people not wanting to hop on alternatives? And I'm putting myself in that bag. I'm not going to just sit here and act like, oh, I'm always on the alternative. No, I'm also guilty of that as well in certain cases. But it's like, what is it about us that makes us not want to explore something different, right? What is it where we're just like, no, I just really like this thing even though it's attached to an extremely problematic person? Like me, when it comes to wrestling, I mean, I'm still into WWE, but it's like, let's be real. They have Saudi Arabian money that's backing them. They had the whole thing with Vince McMahon, and then there's still like some very problematic people that are still in that company. And it's just like, but I'll still show up and I'll still support. And it's like, why am I still attached to this? Yes, it is a part of my childhood, but I mean, there are other alternatives, and I do watch those other alternatives, but it's a matter of, can I stop supporting WWE like I have been? Like, yeah, cool, they have people that I really like and all that stuff, but it's like, it's still WWE. And it's like, for us as humans, like, why? Like, yeah, you like the thing, right? Like, oh, I really like my iPhone, I really like Starbucks, or I really like Harry Potter, or I like all these other things that are very problematic, or I really like my Tesla. And I was like, no. We have to find that point where it's like, okay, this is enough. It's time to stop. Because we are actively in this, like, perpetual downward spiral, and it's all our fault. It's all our fault, because we're just going to continue to just support it and just be like, oh, but I really like the thing though. And it's like, okay, well, you like the thing enough that it's going to kill somebody that you say you care about, or it'll eventually kill you, or at least contribute to your own downfall. But yeah, I'm off the soapbox. That's all I got to say on that. We are at 57 minutes in terms of recording time. I don't really have anything else to add to this other than just find something to treat yourself to for the upcoming month. Hit up a homie. Don't just let life force you into not engaging with your homies. And I'm not just talking about the one or two homies that you typically engage with. I'm talking about all the homies. Please, just try and reach out to more people and just find some good shit to do in your daily endeavors. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and put an end to this. I have nothing else really to add. I'm going to be, today I'm planning to do some hanging out with a friendo. So yeah, that's the jams there, B. And I will catch y'all around. Toodles, my dear little noodles.